Alright, I'm back for another video. Today I just want to talk about retro gaming and why I think it is a very important thing to have. Retro gaming is talking about going back and playing the old games from the old systems, the Atari, Intellivision, ColecoVision, the Nintendo NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, and on. The problem is a lot of the executives had come out and spoken against it, saying who would want to play the old games. Kind of made everybody mad. But the bottom line is people want to play the old games. People need to be reminded of where we came from, how we got to where we're at. I liken it to music and movies. So, music. Just think if they came out and said, we're cutting off all music as of a 10-year period, so if it goes back 10 years, we're cutting it out, you can't listen to that music anymore. Or movies. Since movies are so advanced now, they have such great CGI, they have big budgets, we're going to go back 20 years and any movies beyond that point you can't watch anymore. And that's the way it is with gaming. And gaming is a bigger industry. It makes more money than both the movie industry and the music industry. And so this video I just want to give a shout out to some companies that actually brought their games back. Some of their old games. And I love it, whether it's old arcade games or old system games. So first and foremost, Atari's done a fantastic job with the retro collections. A video I did a while back was talking about the 50th anniversary collection, and it was fantastic. They put over 100 games on that one title, along with a bunch of videos that told the history of Atari. And it was interesting. It was really cool. And honestly, I wish all the companies would do stuff like that. They would release a documentary about how it was back in the past and put a ton of games. I wish they would put all the games for the system, the old systems, out, because they are so small and they are so cheap to produce right now, and a lot of the games are just sitting there stagnant. I just really wish they would do that. But Atari did a fantastic job with their 50th anniversary. Got to give them props. Amazing. When the 360, well, actually, it was before that, the original Xbox Live started, they originally started with titles you could download, and a few of those were like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, and Dig Dug. And I loved this because they made it cheap, they made it accessible, and it preserves history. And so I gotta give props to Xbox for that. Now, Konami, who is, they were big back in the NES days, released a ton of titles, but they have released some compilations of classic arcade games, classic Castlevania games, so you can go back and play the old Castlevania games on their retro title. And it's cool because it covers the NES, the Super NES, also covers the Genesis version, and includes an arcade version that they had. It is just a really cool compilation. They also did the same with a Contra collection. And so there's Contra 1, 2, and 3, Super Contra. It's really, really cool. And so I gotta give Konami total props for that one. Amazing. I wish more companies, again, would do this. Sega has done a fantastic job with releasing their old titles. You can get the Sega Genesis collection, and it has a ton of games on it, and it has some really key ones that I really like the Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3. It has the Phantasy Stars, has just a ton of games, and that is a really good one. And another thing you can do, if you own that for Steam, there are mods you can do that will actually add more games to it. And it's really cool. So props to Sega for what they've done. And another trend that I like that's happening lately is they are releasing old PC games for all the different systems. Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, just a couple of those style of games, and they were old PC games that we played a long time ago, brought back. And that is really cool to see, because that's released not only for PC, but for the systems. And I was so glad to see that. And you can get them on sale. All of these you can get on sale relatively cheap and relatively often. Either one or the other will be on sale. And so these are awesome because these preserve the history of the old games, and I love that. They also have the Capcom Arcade Stadium. And this is kind of cool because it actually is all the old arcade games, and it takes you into this virtual arcade basically, and you have all the games lined up in a row. And you just go through and you select which game you want to play, and it's got a ton of their old classics on it. And I love this. And so again, this is just game preservation. And I love it because people don't understand that if we lose that, then we lose part of history. And so it's kind of like music, like I gave the example of music. If you lost all the music from the 50s and 40s and 30s, you would lose so much. You would lose that evolution of music. You would lose some of the key hits back in the time, that a lot of them that are still copied today. And it just shows where we came from, where we're going, where we've been, that kind of thing. Rare also released a compilation of their old classics, and I loved this because it stemmed all the way back from their old PC titles to their NES titles, to where when they were with the Nintendo 64 and made them popular, and now Microsoft owns them, and it's got a few of those games on it. So that is a really good compilation too. So what I'm saying here is just, I love this. I want more companies to do this. So there is no point other than that. Just, I love retro gaming, and people don't understand it. But again, what if the music industry came in and just said, you cannot listen to anything older than 10 years ago, even 20 years ago? You know, how would you react? You would be shocked. You would be like, no, we're going to keep those. I feel the same way about video games. I feel the same way about music and movies and all that stuff. We need the movies from the past to tell us where we've been, how we got here, because they are a part of our history. So that's all for my video. I was just thinking about what to make, and I thought, you know, I love retro gaming, and just wanted to share with you my love for it, and just make a video. So I got really bored. So you guys have a great day. I will talk to you later.